Please describe your job title and primary duties.
So I was a crew member and I was also a training facilitator. So as a crew member, I worked the different stations. I worked like a cashier, preparing the food on the grill, like things like that. So just different levels of preparation and interacting with customers. And then as a training crew member, I helped integrate new members into their roles and duties in the company.
What was the work environment like?
It was definitely a fast-paced environment, especially during like high peak time. So we had like rushes, like lunch rush and dinner rush around the times when we had the most customer inflow. So definitely high-paced, fast-working environment, and then a lot of like prep time in between those times. And then in the earlier days of operating hours and the later days of operating hours, it definitely slowed down.
What was your favorite part about working there?
I really liked the relationships I was able to build with regular customers. We would have people who come in, every single day, sometimes more than once a day. So just getting to see them and like learning who they were and their stories and stuff, and them recognizing me and being able to, ring up their order when I saw them walking in the door, meant a lot to them, and it meant a lot to me to have those interactions because sometimes it made a bad day better.
Please describe the application and interview process.
So I applied online. It was an online application process. It was very self-explanatory. It just walked you through like your personal demographics. It walked you through some interview questions, some sample questions about who you were and how you worked on a team, and then your interest in the company.
What questions did the interviewer ask during the job interview?
And a lot of it was already questions that had been answered online, but they were just looking for further clarification, or maybe they wanted to ask like more in depth about, your interest in the company or like what you expected to get out of the job, and then asking about like your availability and like when you were able to start and things like that once the job had been offered.
How were you notified that you received the job?
I was offered a job on the spot, so I knew like when I left my interview then, and from there they'd set up a day for me to come in to train, and then from there I was put into the electronic like scheduling system, so then I received a weekly email with my schedule.
What set you apart from other candidates?
So I definitely think that researching the company before I went was a step in the right direction. I was able to regurgitate some of their company beliefs and some of the values that they held, so showing that I had some predetermined knowledge of the company and just the things that they stood for, I think really helped set me apart to show that I was serious in wanting to work for the company and not just, showing up and trying to get a job.
What other advice would you give to a job seeker looking to gain employment?
I would definitely learn the employee manual. It definitely is intimidating at first, but going through it and not having to ask so many questions during the shift, especially like I talked about in those peak times, a lot of people tend to snap or, be short with you when you're trying to figure things out in there. So just going into a situation prepared, trying to figure things out as you go, but not being afraid to ask for help in those downtimes, and just constantly learning from your mistakes, and asking for help when necessary.